right, so get this. We got our hands on some seriously cool predictions about the future of corporate coaching.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, from Ingomu,
Right. They're like a pretty big deal.
Exactly. Their CEO, Al Wynant, I think that's how you say his last name anyway, he put out his top 5 trends for like late 2024.
Oh, this will be good.
And the first one is AI.
Okay, so are robots going to replace coaches now?
Well, not exactly. No, it's not some big sci-fi takeover or
Oh,
anything.
okay, fair.
It's more like AI doing, the routine tasks, the stuff that takes up a lot of time so the human coach can like focus on the bigger picture stuff.
So basically, AI is like the assistant.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine like AI creating a personalized development plan just for you based on your strengths, what you need to work on, even like how you learn best.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
Right. No more like cookie cutter approach. Everyone gets a custom tailored coaching experience.
And I bet that could make coaching accessible to more people, too, not just, the executives.
That's actually something Wynant mentions in his predictions. He seems to think this could be huge for making coaching more, I don't know, democratic.
I like that.
What happens when everyone in a company has access to that kind of personalized development?
Yeah, it really makes you wonder how that would change things.
Totally.
And speaking of change, Ngomu's second prediction is all about mental health and well-being.
It's about time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like companies are finally realizing that burned out employees aren't exactly the key to success.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know what I found interesting though? They specifically said life-work balance, not work-life.
Interesting.
Like maybe it's a small detail, but it seems like they're acknowledging that the lines are blurring.
Yeah,
Yes.
especially with hybrid and remote work. I mean, I feel like I'm always kind of on now.
Right. Answering emails from the couch, taking calls with kids in the background. It's a whole thing.
It is. And it's not always easy.
And that leads us perfectly to trend number 3. No surprise here. Coaching that's designed for the hybrid world.
It makes sense. It's not enough to just go hybrid and expect everyone to just figure it out.
Exactly. You need to give people the tools and support to actually do their best work in this new environment.
And Wynant gave some interesting examples of how companies are doing this virtual coaching, on-demand content, even programs that are made for people leading remote teams.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, leading remotely comes with a whole different set of challenges.
Absolutely. So basically, give your people what they need to not just survive, but thrive in this new world of work.
Exactly. And what's really cool is that companies investing in this type of coaching are already seeing the benefits. More engagement, better teamwork, and yeah, even higher productivity.
That's what I like to hear. And speaking of things I like to hear, Ingomu's 4th trend is diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI for short.
It's not just a buzzword anymore, is it?
Nope. And Ingomu gets that. It's about making DEI a core part of your company culture.
Right. It's not just about checking boxes anymore.
Totally. And Wynant talked about how coaching can play a big role here, like giving leaders the tools and awareness they need to create truly inclusive workplaces.
That's so important.
Right. So we're talking about things like recognizing unconscious biases, managing diverse teams effectively, and just making sure everyone feels valued.
Those are essential skills for any leader, really.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And one thing I really appreciated was that Ingomu emphasized that this isn't about grand gestures. It's about the everyday decisions. It's about making your workplace inclusive from the top down.
I love that. Me too. From the boardroom to the break room. Everyone deserves to feel like they belong.
It's about baking it into the DNA of the company.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, that leads us to Ingomu's last prediction. And this one, well, it might seem a little, I don't know,
Little wet.
maybe not as exciting at first glance.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
All right, so it's all about ROI.
Return on investment. Okay, so the bottom line makes sense. Companies want to know their investment in coaching is actually,
Making a difference.
right, exactly. And that's why we're seeing such a big push for data, to prove that it's working.
Okay, so like tracking employee performance, maybe even retention rates.
Exactly. Engagement levels, stuff like that. Because if you can show that coaching is actually moving the needle on those metrics.
Then it's easier to justify putting more resources into it.
Exactly. Which ultimately benefits everyone involved. So we've covered a lot, but I'm kind of curious. What's sticking out to you so far from all of this?
Honestly, it's a lot, but I think the biggest thing for me is how all of these trends are kind of like woven together. It's not just one or two things changing, it's the whole picture,
Right.
Like take AI, for example. It's not just about like automating tasks. It's about making the coaching experience way more personalized.
And that personalization, it all ties into that well-being piece too,
Right.
because when you can tailor coaching to what someone actually needs and wants,
It becomes less about just, getting them to do more and more about actually supporting them.
absolutely. It's like we're moving away from work just being about what you produce.
Right. It's about the whole person,
Yes. And I feel like that's been a long time coming.
for sure. So, big picture time. If these trends actually happen, what does that even mean for, like, the average person? What's it actually like to work, maybe even live in that world?
$1 million question, right?
Right.
Practically speaking, I think we'll see coaching become a lot more, I don't know, integrated into our day-to-day work.
Okay, so less like this separate thing, more just how we do things.
Exactly. Think like on-demand coaching through your phone or AI tools that give you personalized feedback.
That's pretty wild when you think about it.
It is, and I think it means a much bigger emphasis on constantly learning and growing, too. Like, it's not enough to just have your degree or skill set anymore.
You got to keep evolving. It's almost like you're not just keeping up, you're trying to stay ahead of, like, the whole game.
Yeah, exactly. Which, can feel a little overwhelming, but I think it's also super exciting.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, we can really shape our own careers now. It's so true. Okay, so for everyone listening who's thinking, okay, this is cool and all, but what do I do right now? What's one, like, tangible thing people can do to get ready for all of this?
Honestly, just start talking about it.
I love that. Like, it doesn't have to be some big formal thing.
No, not at all. Talk to your manager. Tell them about your goals, how coaching could help. Share an article about this stuff with your team. Even just, saying, hey, I've been thinking about this future of work thing. It gets the ball rolling.
Plant the seed.
Exactly. And if you're already in a leadership role, this is your chance to, like, step up and make those changes happen.
Yes. Don't just wait for it to happen. Be a part of it.
Right. Try new things, figure out what works, what doesn't. It's all so new, there's no rule book.
That's such a good point. So, wow, this has been, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty energized after this whole conversation.
Me too. It's a lot to think about, but in a good way.
Totally. And listeners, we want to hear from you. What really stuck with you today? What questions are you, like, still thinking about? Yeah, let us know.
Hit us up on social media or head over to our website because we are definitely going to keep this conversation going.
We learned so much from you guys.
Always. Okay, so on that note, this has been an amazing deep dive into the world of corporate coaching.
The future of it, really.
Right. Thanks for coming along on the ride with us. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep those awesome questions coming.